Hello, it's Jang here from JangBricks.com with a look at a summer 2014 LEGO Star Wars set. This is the B-Wing. It comes with 448 pieces. The B-Wing is such an interesting design of starfighter, really made to go after critical systems on capital ships. And just such a heavy, well-built thing in universe, able to dole out a whole lot of damage. I've played as this in some video game adaptations. Works very nicely, but of course this is just the landed form of one. This is how it looks when it's all completely folded up. Once it's going, once it's actually flying, of course, you want to open the wings up fully, and now that's the look that you're going to get out of it. So that's a pretty good look right there. Really tough to capture this thing on film because it takes up so much space, even though there's not a whole lot of mass to it. You can see that the wings are just, or wing surfaces are just very thin and fairly long. I mean, look at the side wings. The main actual wings are just, they're just single plate thick with some extra added a little bit of reinforcement, but for the most part just one plate, and that's pretty accurate. I mean, the proportions they've done pretty well here. Of course, another famous way that you would see this thing flying is like this, right? In its fully upstanding position. Again, it's all about the proportions with this. You know, it's kind of limited in size here because they wanted to make it feel realistic without giving you a UCS set. You know, they wanted to keep the parts count down and keep the price down so it would actually be accessible to just fairly normal kids who would want to play with this thing. Very important feature is the cockpit and the ability to rotate the cockpit around, and it doesn't really stay facing the correct direction just by gravity. Just a tiny bit of friction in there. The cockpit does open up towards the front, and it doesn't use studs to hold the figure in, doesn't use studs to hold the pilot. He's just gonna sit in there. I actually like that. I like it when they do that because it makes it a lot easier to put him in rather than having to line up the studs all perfectly, and then it becomes more difficult to take them out. Sometimes you pull them out when they're connected to studs and then the legs stay behind. That's a really nice look. It's too bad you're not able to see them all that well in there, but you know, proportion wise it just works out nicely. It should be larger than this, but I'm personally happy with it. And you can do the whole thing of just holding this and make all this rotate around to evade incoming fire as you're coming after a ship, so you can come at it kind of sideways like this at an angle. Very nice what they've done here for these little inlet strakes. That's a pretty nice little technique. Simple enough, but gets an important recognizable detail in there. They also did well with the cowling around here, just getting those angles in there done pretty well. The engines, you got your 4 engines back here, and they've got the transparent orange color, so that looks pretty good. Looks like they're actually, you know, fired up and giving off some output. There's a look at the whole thing kind of from behind. So again, you can see a little bit more of just its overall shape and proportions. It's really captured well. It feels like it would really fly the correct way, the way that you would expect to see it in the movie or in a video game or something. You do have a couple of spring-loaded shooters, so each of the small wings has one of those on there, so you can kind of simulate the firing process of shooting from the wingtip laser cannons. Push that down, off it goes. And then down here at the bottom, at the base or at the far end, you've got your, should have an ion cannon down there, and I believe it has a launcher down there also. Just a little bit of simulated detail with that. Not quite as good looking, but at least they were thinking about it properly. It doesn't look quite as good from this side when you're looking at it from the side that doesn't have the studs. It's actually the bottom of the plates, but you know, they did try their best to get the shape there and to get it consistent. So you do have a little bit of kind of that terracing on the bottom, and also using 2 different colors of gray to try to give it the simulation of different textures. 3 minifigs included with this set. On the left there is your Gray Squadron B-Wing pilot with the visor down. That's what the pink is representing. It's kind of supposed to be a continuation from the helmet. In the middle is Ten Numb, who we saw on the Millennium Falcon in the big attack scene in Return of the Jedi. He's pretty well remembered, I'm sure, and definitely he had some lines. They weren't in English, but he had some lines in the movie, so that makes him important. And then the last one is General Aaron Kraken. So we've got 2 figures with the short little blasters there, just the small-sized pistols, and Ten Numb actually gets a wrench to do some wrenching work if he would like. There's a look at all of them from the backs. You've got some nice prints going on with the helmets. You can see it's not all just consistent all the way around. You've got some different stuff going on there. I'll show you the top of Ten Numb's helmet there also. Got some print on the top of that. And also alternate faces. Whoa, there we go. Not for the General though. There's a better look at the prints of the first 2 of them, since there's a little bit of obscurity with the helmets on, but let's look at the alternate faces with the helmets on. And there you go. Nice little set of minifigs. Overall, pretty nice looking B-Wing, I would say, for its size. And the size is the only thing that I could really question about it, because I would love for this to be bigger, but naturally, if they made it bigger, then it would have more parts, it would be more complex, and it would cost more. Always definitely a trade-off there. Let me know what your thoughts are about this set in the comment section. If you like it, if you wish it was bigger, if you think that the size is just fine, what you think about the inclusion of this particular set of minifigs, just your general thoughts. You can leave a long comment if you want, or just a little short one, just with your quick thoughts. I'm gonna go build some more stuff so I can bring you some more videos, and I will be talking to you again very soon.